Okay, recording for the Special Project Standing Building Committee on May 23rd at 5:15 has started.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order, and then now I need to toggle. Okay. First order of business is to review and approve the minutes of from February 7th. Did everybody have a chance to look at those? Sal, I have a couple questions on those. Did you have that have to do with you? Did you have a chance to look at them?
No, I will.
Okay. If you look at page 2, wait, what did I write? Page 2. Oh, you know what? One of the things that you sent was missing a page. So let me just see if it was. Oh, no, I know. Oh, no, the problem is I'm on March 20th. Okay. Okay, here we go. Page 2. I think it's the third sentence. Mr. Morabito said until value engineering has gone through, write the shortage on some operating accounts such as roofs. I'm just not sure.
Okay, I don't know what page 2 is because I'm on an iPad and it's not showing me page breaks.
Okay, so, go to, I'm sorry, section 3.
Yep.
I guess that would be the first paragraph. And Mr. Morabito said until value engineering, like kind of the second to the last sentence. It just doesn't sound right. I'm not sure what exactly.
Mr. Morabito said until value engineering is through, write the shortage on some operating account, such as roof preventative maintenance.
And the tech. We could.
Well, what I was saying at the time was, until we go through, until we have Silktown's value engineering in hand, we can award by borrowing some money from some operators.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't understanding what the sentence was. Write the shortage, or make up the shortage is kind of what we mean, right? Make up the shortage by using some operating accounts such as roof preventative maintenance and the technical consulting account.
Right.
Would that be the correct? Okay.
That would be, yes.
Jen, could we change that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So Mr. Morabito said until value engineering is reviewed, we could make up the shortage using some operating accounts such as roof preventative maintenance and the technical consulting account.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then on the next paragraph, he said Silver Petroselli and the purchasing department had a scope review with Silktown, which had ideas for leaking items. I believe you used the word deleting. Would that be correct, Sal?
Let me see what it says. Suggested salvaging existing roof insulation? Is that the line you?
No. He said Silver Petroselli, the very next paragraph, the first sentence, and the purchasing department had a scope review with Silktown, which had ideas for leaking items. I believe we meant deleting items. Or is there another word you would use there?
Okay, I see what you're saying. Idea for leaking.
I would say deleting or something else.
For ideas for.
Or just value engineering?
Yeah.
Instead of leaking items?
Ideas. I'm trying to figure out what we were saying to for it to be misconstrued that way or written.
No, that's why I would use the word deleting, because it kind of sounds like leaking.
I would say ideas for value engineering.
Okay.
For value engineering deducts.
Deducts, yeah, yeah. Okay, Jennifer?
I got it.
Okay. All right, so does anybody else have any comments?
No.
Okay. Then I would make a motion to approve the February 7th, 2022 minutes as amended, however you say that.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The next item would be the 3:28 minutes. And I do also have just one correction on that. Section 4 talks about, wait, where is it? Section 4 is very big. There it is. Section 4, second to the last paragraph, talks about the change order for the infrared scan in the amount of $31,070. I believe it's 3,000.
Correct.
100 and is it 07 or 70? I'm not sure. We just got a bill for it somewhere or a purchase order.
I think it was 3170. And yes,
that's what I thought.
Correct. We got. That's
3170
is in mine.
I thought that was a lot. So I went back to my notes.
Yeah, that's one heck of an infrared scan.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, it's easy. It's an easy thing to do. Okay. Does anybody else have any further comments on the March 28th meeting minutes?
No.
Okay. Then I make a motion to approve the March 28th minutes as amended. All in favor?
Oh, someone needs to second.
I'll
sorry.
second the motion. I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
I abstain.
Okay. All right. That's that. And now I got to find your thing again. Sorry. Okay. The item 3, to hear an update on projects from Sal Morabito, Manager of Construction Security. Well, we know your title. It's quite the title, Sal.
It's a rocking title, isn't it? So we've had a few telephone conference calls discussing RFIs that have come up about various things, and SPA is taking care of those. As you'll see with the invoices, they're invoicing for some of the material that they being Silktown, had already owned and had in stock for this for a project, and it's now for this project, and is being transferred over to our ownership. And we're just getting everything together. Silktown is putting together a logistics plan for and schedule for which roof they're doing first, where laydown areas are going to be, so I can inform staff and summertime users of the building, which there are not many, where things will be happening. And we're moving towards June 22nd to start the project, or June 23rd, excuse me.
Okay, great.
Are they missing any materials?
No, they're not missing any materials. There's still some materials on order. There's a RFI that we're working out right now for all of the roof curbs except 3. They're using curb extenders, and those are on order. There's 3 rooftop curbs that have vibration isolators in them, and they want to use the curb extenders. They're worried that they're going to end up compressing the springs. So we had a conference call to discuss what our options are. It is with Silver Petroselli's engineer. Personally, I think they'll end up just detaching the existing curb and raising it, and work out a detail for making sure it's secured correctly to the roof deck.
So they're not going to use the vibration isolators?
No, I'm saying move the whole curb up with the
they have to use the isolators.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. Okay.
And it's and these are on the roofs that are associated with the media center and the auditorium. So it's a vibration. I don't have the original engineering, but I'm assuming that it's a sound and vibration issue as opposed to a seismic issue, because all the units are basically the same size. So I'm just thinking it's to reduce noise.
Right.
So we would keep those intact. And because we're adding extra insulation, we need to figure out how we're going to get the curb height correct so we have proper flashing heights.
Which will or will not result in a change order?
It shouldn't. They own that work. It shouldn't result in a change order.
All right.
It's what are we going to be doing with this?
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I don't know whether to ask you this now or during the invoice, but since you're speaking now, Sal, I saw that that they're invoicing for the materials, and that they have a certificate of insurance for that, and something like saying it belongs to the town or something, so they get paid. Have you or somebody from your department actually seen the material?
I have not gone up to see the material, but they have enough information there.
Documentation.
Enough documentation on it that it's pretty straightforward that they have that material.
So there's enough documentation for you to, I know you've worked with them before also, but so there's enough documentation for you to feel comfortable approving that, for us to approve that.
Yes. I'm comfortable with that, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion? Anybody have any questions for Sal?
This has I have a question about the insurance. Again, we may want to wait to the invoice part, but the insurance is expired.
Oh. That's not good.
Well, we can
we could approve it pending or contingent upon updated insurance.
Correct.
And would you also they have the stipulation about the stored materials, which is fine.
You're talking about the insurance stuff?
Yeah, the insurance. I want to make sure that the material was specifically insured at the 182 834.79, which it is.
Sorry, I was trying to find that.
With an expired certificate.
Oh, that's probably. I'm sorry. So that's.
It's in the description. It's a descriptor.
Yeah. Description of operation. Coverage is provided for stored materials in the amount of $182,834.79, stored at 151 Water Street, Derby, Connecticut.
Right.
Is there something else that you want in that descriptor, Beth?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Finally found the certificate.
Yeah, I don't think that it should be if you approve it contingent on getting a new certificate, that should not be a problem. We can get a new certificate right away.
Yeah, policy expires 5/1. Okay. Okay, so let me just write that. However,
When did they send the invoice?
This invoice was sent a month ago.
In April.
but they still, that's,
They sent it right after we canceled. Sent it right after we canceled the meeting last month. It was like kind of bad timing. It was like,
but you know what? That's actually good. From that standpoint, because we would have not perhaps seen that, and it would have expired. I mean, it should be up to date through the time till it's delivered to the site. So.
Yeah, not a problem.
They go yearly, so that's probably the.
I see that. Yeah.
So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think there was any malice in there. I think they just said.
No, I don't either. I'm not suggesting that. Yeah. No, that was a good catch, though.
Yeah.
We should have to have all of our paperwork correct. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Updated insurance. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Then moving on to invoices, and Gerald, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm here. It's Gerald Foley. So I'll take care of contacting Silktown about their insurance.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll do it right after the call, send them an email, and then I'll alert the committee that I've gotten the updated certificate before we go forward.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Gerald, do we have an updated spreadsheet?
So I have all the numbers, but I don't have I'll have it for you for the next meeting. What actually I could do is I'll prepare it and then I'll send it out ahead of time, so that you'll have one based on once we've processed all the invoices. I'll give you activity in terms of the budget, and then all the expenses off the budget.
So you'll send us a spreadsheet prior to the next meeting?
Yes. I'll send you a spreadsheet that basically delineates the budget, and then I'll delineate all the expenses based on tonight's approvals.
Yeah, just because we went back so much about the budget. That's why I had asked the last time, just to kind of have everything in front of us. I'm sure everything is fine. I just want to see it.
Right.
Okay.
So while you're on the budget, do you want me to make any mention of the budget?
Sure. Yes, please.
Okay. So we have a budget in place. Bear with me here. Just got to get my notes.
Oh, I don't know if this is the right time for this either, but Gerald, the purchase order to Silktown is off by $1,000. The purchase order, is that what it's called, from the purchasing department, is for $2,825, and their contract amount is $2,826,200. That's what's on their certificate, and that's, at least in my notes, what we talked about being their number last time.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. So what's happened is this project is being split. The expenses for the project were split between Fairfield Public Schools and the town. So in other words, town and this budget carried a certain amount of money, and then the schools paid for a portion of the design components.
Right.
So between now and then, I could reconcile with Sal, and we could validate the number.
Yeah, no, this is just Silktown's purchase order total says 2,825.
I'm sorry.
Silktown. Yeah, this is not part of the. I know that some school money is being used for design, but if you look, this is what you sent us. It says 2,825, and their requisition for payment says 2,826,200.
Okay.
Which I believe is the correct number based on what we approved in March, I think.
Yep, you're
or
correct.
something. So somewhere I have that.
I see what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, it said with due deducts 2826. That was from the March meeting.
Right. Yeah, so we'll go back and we'll validate that, make sure it's correct.
Okay.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, okay. Okay, 285. Okay, I'm sorry. So
right.
Go ahead. So the expenses were split between in the town and the schools.
Right.
So the school budget was paying for some of the design work, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so we have this particular budget. Basically, there's 3 roofs that are captured in it. There's going to be Roger Ludlow Middle School. Basically, that's the full project. And then there's going to be design components associated with the McKinley Elementary School, and then also for the Roger Sherman Elementary School. So for the Roger Ludlow Middle School project, the amount that's been appropriated to Silktown, as to what Jane had just said, was $2,800,000, and our PO says $226,500, but we'll correct that. So the correct amount is $2,826,200. That's going to be appropriated, and an encumbrance will be set aside for Silktown. And we also have another encumbrance for Silver Petrocelli in the amount of $12,070, and that's for the contract administration services related to that same project. And that relates to there's set fee of $8,900 for the CA services, and then there's an added service of the infrared roof scan, which is what we discussed earlier, is $3,170. So those two totals combine $12,070.
Okay.
And then we have design services for the McKinley project, which we have issued a PO for $13,025. And then we have one that's pending for the Roger.
These are all to Silver Petrocelli, right?
These are all going to be to that. So I'm working basically off of the account. So these are expenses that are going to be captured under the one account that relates to this project.
I'm sorry, the 12,000, not the 2,826, but the 12,000, the 13,000. The design services are coming out of the school budget.
No, those are coming out of this project budget. The money that'll be the majority of the expenses are going to go to Silktown, but the three other projects, 2 other projects will be issued. There's 3 purchase orders issued now to Silver Petrocelli, and then there's 1 purchase order to Silktown Roofing.
Those are why are they?
It was the way the funding was. So what's happened is the way that, and Sal could talk more to this, is that we were always behind in terms of our bidding. So
right.
What we've done now is the appropriation for, it was just over $3 million, was appropriated to do basically the whole, from beginning to end, was the Roger Ludlow Middle School project. We did, basically it's set up so that there'll be expenses that'll be captured out of this main budget account, and then we have, let's see here, we have the McKinley School, same thing with that one, and then the last one we have is the Roger Sherman one.
What is the amount of that one?
So the one for Roger Sherman is going to be right now it's $6,500. I'm sorry,
okay.
It's line 1 was 65, line 2 is 1,800. So that PO is for a total of $8,300.
Okay. And then, but then what are they going, I'm just confused. We've never done that before. I understand you're saying that's to fast track the design.
Yeah, this was a little unusual, but we can't, in order to get forward with the projects, the bonding appropriation had 3 projects listed in it. So you had Roger Ludlow, you had McKinley, and then Roger Sherman, all roof replacement projects.
Okay, but what about the construction costs?
So
it's going to be separate.
Separate. That was in the same budget, and so the Ludlow project was funded basically the design plus the construction is all out of that same budget.
And the other ones were design only?
Yeah, so the other ones have design components.
Okay, but when will they get funded for construction?
Those will be the coming, like, after July. Sal could talk more on the dates.
Okay.
All right. I think the reason that it's getting confused is because we're saying the word budget. There's a budget for Roger Ludlow Middle School, and right now that is the cost for the architect, the cost for the contractor. Our bond also includes funding for design services on 2 other projects.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So that's included in the bond, but there's a budget that is for the project that is Roger Ludlow Middle School. That's its own project.
Okay. Yeah, Roger Ludlow Middle School is its own project. The bond that funds Roger Ludlow Middle School roof replacement also funds next year's, the design for next year's projects.
Okay, I gotcha.
So that we will be in a good position come this late fall, early winter, to be on the road to bid that. So we're way ahead of the curve. We're not getting price escalations, things like that we lock in early.
Right.
We intend to go for funding, construction funding for the next projects as soon as the boards will let us. There's a lot of things up in the air, but I would say by September is when I would want to see it. It might happen even before that.
But it has to be after July 1st for the fiscal year?
Capital funding can happen at any time.
Oh, okay.
Theoretically, you can fund something now and the construction won't happen for 4 years or 5. It's authorization. Anyway, along with that construction authorization for those next 2 projects, there will be some money included in that bond for the next design for the year after that.
Okay.
So we're always trying to be ahead of the game, getting the design done early so we have better numbers for better estimates for the boards. They feel more comfortable giving us the bonding, so on and so forth.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Should we approve some invoices here?
Okay.
Sure.
Gerald, do you want to present them, or do I do that, or what?
No, I can do that. So you have 3 invoices for your review and approval. All 3 of them relate to the Roger Ludlow Middle School roof replacement project. The first item is from Silktown Roofing. It's application number 1, dated April 30th of 2022. The amount requested is $202,056.25. The invoice is for stored materials. And Silktown has presented basically validation of the materials with pictures and images. As was brought up earlier, they did also provide a certificate of insurance. Unfortunately, the timing was not very good, so the certificate you have before you is expired. I will contact Silktown to get that certificate refreshed. Once I get it, I will submit it to the committee. So I'm asking for approval pending my office obtaining a update and valid certificate of insurance from Silktown.
Okay, the other issue is, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say there's not an architectural signature on this.
Yep, that's what I was going to say too.
Right. So I will contact. Yeah, the timing of this was such. It was, as Sal alluded to, it was submitted. I tried to follow up with Ken Lindsay. I don't believe he's on the call. I'll follow up with him and get him to sign it.
That's going to be another contingence.
Okay.
When we
definitely.
When we present, this is going to have to be a contingence.
Okay. Yeah. Can let's. Yeah. Good. Try not to do that, please. Application number 1. Okay. Sorry, I have to read it sideways on my laptop here. Okay. So I make a motion to accept application number 1 from Silktown. Let me see, what is it dated?
I have it as April 30th. And there's 2 differing dates on there. There's a date in the center.
It says period until April 30th.
Right. And it's actually signed off by the contractor. So I picked the latter date. So the date in the center of the document is April 22nd of 2022. I used the application period that was listed on the top of the document, which says period to April.
Yeah, that's what I would use, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
That's the one I used. I used April
Okay, so
30th.
application 1 covering the period until April 30th, 2022, pending an updated insurance certificate and a formal approval by Silver Petroselli.
Right.
In the amount of?
In the amount of $202,056.25.
Yes.
Jane, I have one question for you, Jane, on this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the purchase order number on their application for payment, and they also have this contract with state number 051-052-RR. Gerald, is that the state number for this project?
Yeah, so what happens is, this is Gerald Foley. So when we put it out to bid, Sal could allude to this, but when we go before their Office of Grants and Construction, they assign a state project number. So that's what the number that the team from Silktown is listed on there. There was a bid number and then a state project number. And so the number that they have listed is the number that was set up by the state.
All right, because your purchase order says that this other number has to be on every one of their invoices. So I thought maybe you want to have it here.
I will update Silktown and have them include that on the next application.
Okay, they also should say Roger Ludlow Middle School, just because we have, those schools that sound similar. We have Ludlow High School, so that could be confusing.
Right.
Was that Steve or Chuck that just asked Gerald the question?
That was Chuck.
Okay, excuse me.
Okay,
so Chuck, so we need, Chuck, you're saying we also need them to add the purchase order number?
Yes.
PO number. Okay. And
the contract
Roger
date.
Ludlow. I'm sorry, and the contract date?
Yes.
Okay. Really? Okay. So, all right, I'm going to say this again, Jen, just to.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I make a motion to approve the AIA application number 1 in the amount of $202,056.25 for the period through April 30th, 2022, contingent upon the architect's approval and signature, an updated insurance form, the addition of the PO number and contract date, and adding Roger to Ludlow, adding Roger to the project name. I guess that's the right to say it. Roger Ludlow Middle School. Yeah, they have Ludlow Middle School. Anybody want to second that, or do I need to say something else?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carried. Okay, Gerald, do you want to do Silver Petroselli?
Yeah, so the next two invoices we have are both from Silver Petroselli and Associates. These are both for CA or Contract Administration Services. The order that I have them listed in is it's just reversed, but we have the first one is dated May 1st of 2022. The invoice.
Well, we should do the March one, right? Because then that one should reflect it in the next one.
Yep, gotcha. So the first one is invoice number 22-0196, dated March 1st of 2022, and the amount that I'm requesting approval from the committee is $445. And that's, again, for CA services. On the invoice that's presented, you'll see that the invoice amount that's listed there is for a higher amount, but I'm only requesting for the CA services component of that invoice. The other portions of that invoice relate to funding from Fairfield Public Schools.
Okay. All right, wait. So I'm a little confused here again. This is
I'll jump in, Jane. I'll jump in.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So to get a leg up on this project, out of my operating, when I say my Fairfield Public Schools operating account, we put forward for construction documents and the bid phase, issued Silver Petroselli a purchase order for that. They have billed that, and I signed it off. You never got to see those because it was out of our operating account. The CA is what Gerald, you guys wrote and issued out of the bond, and they were having trouble, and Gerald and I said we'll handle it, and we're having the discussion right now. They have one project number, and it's a clerical thing for Silver Petroselli. It was difficult to break it into a component A and a component B. So you're seeing some of the things that I paid on a different PO. So like Gerald said, he's only putting forward that $445.
Okay. Where's the asbestos survey going? Because that's not under. We just said we have $12,070, which is just construction administration and additional services.
Okay. We had spoken at one point about those services. They were never done. I believe on the next bill you'll see it zeroed out. There is not a number there. I believe so, because it was a proposal that they put out and somehow it got stuck on the invoice. The next bill will not reflect that.
All right. I hear what you're saying, and I kind of get it. I do get it, but I'm very uncomfortable with this from an accounting standpoint. If anybody came back trying to keep track of all of this. I know that you know, Sal, and you know, Gerald, but this is very messy having all of this on here. I mean, we should have an invoice for, the CA construction administration, and then the additional thermal roof scanning, and it just really should be presented that way. I mean, this is going to be, if something, the proverbial hit by a bus, and he's going to look at this and go, what's going on? And we're approving it. So there's just so many. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to go back to the minutes to try to figure out what was what and get that all explained right.
Yeah, so Jane, this is Gerald Foley again. So what I did is on the town PO, I've listed, we call it a general notes. So what you've just said, I have in the notes on the PO. So that when I retire in January, it's going to be documented that that's what happened.
You're really retiring in January?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Gerald, you can't go.
Yeah.
I'm having the worst day. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Well, now you've given me even more reason to not be comfortable with this. I mean, I'm not suggesting that anybody's doing anything that's not above board, but it's very irregular.
Right. So what I can show you is for the next meeting, I can give you the notes that I've put into that PO that delineates what actually happened.
Gerald, just one quick question on that.
Sure.
The copy of the PO that we have for Silva Petrocelli is kind of garbled up. It's page 30 of the PDF that was sent through. Maybe it's just my computer not reading it right, but it shows a PO number, but then when it gets down to the description and part number, it's illegible.
Oh, okay. I can try to resend it.
Yeah, that'd be very helpful. And then again, to Jane's point, this is a PO with a number that ends in 2952, and the PO that's on the invoices is something totally different.
Yeah, that's the part so that one was the one that was issued by the schools. So the school issued a PO for basically all the other items on that the invoice. So basically everything above the CA line was what was paid for by the school, and I'm paying for the CA services and below. So it would be CA services and then the added service, which was the infrared roof scan. So that'll be coming back to the committee when it's billed.
I know. I know. I just personally can't. I cannot vote in favor for this. It's just not. I want to see just the things that are under our project, our purview.
Jane, can I make a point of order?
Sure.
Is it possible Gerald could add on wording to the PO that states what Sal said? I know that's still messy, but
well, you can put this is Sal. You can put a reference in the PO that's off the bond, and put a reference in the note to the PO that's off of the FPS operating. I understand what Jane's saying. I want what I want.
No, I just don't. I'm very, very uncomfortable with doing this. It's just not.
Well, we're going to have this problem all the way through because we're writing ahead of the project, whether it's off of one bond or it's off of an operating account. It's still
because it's all off that PO.
Right. Because when we get to the next project for next year, Sherman, it has a PO out of the bond right now that's taking care of construction documents and bidding. Then we'll get more funding for construction. We'll write the rest of the PO.
But can't their invoice state something just to separate it? Just say construction documents and
we can talk to them. We could talk to them, Gerald, and just say put PO number next to the next to the work descriptor.
Right.
Or under CA construction administration.
Yeah, or under put a footnote. Purchase order number 1 is 2021 dash blah 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 blah, and put a note next to CA construction documents PO number 1, bid services PO number 1, construction administration PO number 2. To me, it's a lot. I understand that there's a concern, but we've had split POs on construction projects multiple times.
Okay. I just. Does somebody else want to figure out a way to phrase it then? Because I'm not comfortable.
Sal, I think we said earlier is what we need to have happen is we have to speak to Silver Petroselli and have them provide information on their purchase orders that makes it clear what we are approving from our end versus what the Board of Ed is paying for.
Yeah, so
the Board of Ed has already paid for the first 2 items.
Right, but if they could just put it in parentheses,
we can ask,
right after CD construction documents in parentheses.
If you don't want to approve them tonight, we'll see what we can do, and we can resubmit them next month. I'm sure it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, I would really feel more comfortable about that personally. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a pain. I know I am being one.
I'm not trying to minimize anything. It is something that has happened on construction projects.
No, I'm not saying that it doesn't, but there's just nothing clear here, and we're like, as Gerald said, he's asking for $445. The invoice is $2245. I understand why from what you've said, but it's just very, it's just not at all clear. And
understood.
Nor is the purchase order clear.
I mean, just some verbiage on their invoice. Because, okay, all right, thank you. Does anybody else want to approve it? I mean, you could do 3, and I could say I don't approve, and then they'll pass. But I'm not comfortable doing it.
Nor am I.
Okay. Then we won't have a majority.
We'll work with Silver Petroselli. They do more than enough business with the town. They'll figure out how to force the computer to give us something on the invoice. Don't worry about it.
Thank you,
Sal. We'll get it for next time. We'll get it next time.
Hey, Sal.
Yes, sir.
Sal, I just have one question that's just curious. On the 5-1 invoice, it drops out additional services.
Hang on
Is there a reason for
that? Let me call that up. It's dropping out what?
It's dropping out the additional services. I know you said the asbestos service would zero out, but
right.
Yeah. Well, part of the issue here is they and I'm not sure exactly where it's occurring. Silver Petroselli switched over to a different accounting system, actual software. So there's some discombobulation going on. So I'm happy to have it to talk with Dave Stein about getting it all to kind of seem. I understand. So it really should be saying what it's not noting there is the line for the infrared, which it should be.
Right.
So.
Right, that's right. One dropped off, 2 dropped off, right.
We'll talk to the asbestos thing. We'll see that we can get it clarified for you guys. We'll work on that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Okay. Now what are we doing?
Statement has to be made for the record that we're not we're not approving these for the reason, and give the reason.
Okay. The committee is unable to approve Silver Petroselli's March 1st and May 1st invoices.
Clarifications needed.
Clarifications are needed. Thank you very much.
The next meeting is July 25th, FYI. No, wait a minute.
Why not
No,
June?
it's not.
No, we got a June one.
Yes, I'm
Should
so
be
sorry. June 27th.
June
I'm like
27th.
Rich now.
It's too short it is. Go shorten them more.
God.
We're getting punch happy here.
I know.
Okay. Number 5, new business. Number 6, old business. Number 7, adjourn.
Move we adjourn.
Okay. I make a move to adjourn. Anybody want to second that? Or somebody say?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.